Wassup YouTube, PokePrimer here, primer ready to deliver you our Week 1 Team Builder here in the NPBF. This week we are taking on Mack and his Carolina Persians. And his team is definitely a very threatening one. That's going to be really hard for us to deal with, but I think we've prepped well enough for it. But it's got a lot of threats, for sure. His team consists of Hoopa Unbound, Mandibuzz, Blade, Tentacruel, Aromatisse, Magmortar, Jolteon, Kyurem, Leavanny, Mudsdale, and Megalopony. As of now, he has not listed his Z-Crystal users yet, but I think no matter what he chooses, it's going to be fine. I'm not super worried about it. I'll figure that out, when it comes time. I'm not too worried about it. If there's anything that needs to be changed in regards to his Z users, I'll make the change before the match starts so that I'm good to go. So I'm not super worried about it though, because I think on a whole, my team is prepped really well to handle this match. I think I should be relatively alright in this game. So. Anyways, we have, so obviously, to go over his threats, Hoopa U, Kyurem, and Megalopony are all just stupid, crazy offensive monsters. Just going to be rough to face in the long run. It's going to be a tough matchup, to say the least, for just having those. Plus, he has webs. Okay, I just found out his users there, Leavanny, Aromatisse, and Magmortar. So I'm not threatened by those in any way. My team isn't bothered by those in any way, so I'm not super threatened. So I will, be taking care of that. So I'm not too worried about those. The only things that are potentially threatening out of all of that would be potential Z Solar Beam / Z T-Bolt on Magmortar, which I'm not super stressed about, and maybe, I'm actually not stressed about Aromatisse or Leavanny in any way, so, the only real Z user there that's, threatening is, yeah, really, Magmortar is the only Z user that I care about, but that's fine. But, yeah, so here's the team we got. So starting off, we're going to have Migos the Jirachi. We are running Scarfarachi this week because, honestly, there's just no reason not to run Scarfarachi this week. Scarfarachi mitigates the potential for a Scarf Hoopa, so we can U-turn out on it and just blow it away because it does not appreciate U-turns at all. We have the Iron Head, Zen Headbutt, U-turn, and Fire Punch. Zen is there for the Tentacruel, so we can smack that thing up pretty hard. Fire Punch is kind of for the Blade, but also for the Leavanny, because it'll knock Leavanny straight out. But it works really well for things like the Blade, potentially getting that 20% chance to burn, which is really nice. But yeah, Iron Head is there for everything. The Kyurem especially, if we can, we will outspeed the Kyurem, because we are Choice Scarfed, and we are Speed Crept to outspeed Kyurem, so we will be able to Iron Head that thing down, no problem. Should be a fairly easy situation for us to deal with. We're just going to have to be careful about not revealing our Scarf too early, but, yeah, so there's that. Next up, we have Beyblade, our Hitmontop, and this is kind of, I want to say kind of a switch-in, because it's really not. It does the best it can. It can be a switch-in to Hoopa, because with Assault Vest and 112 Spadef with Careful Nature, I don't think we're too KO'd by Psychic. Hitmon top 252. What is it? 112. Careful. Assault vest. We are 2 account by psychic, but so I just want to put it out there. There's really no switching into Hoopa Unbound. Like Hoopa, this is a situation where like Hitmontop has to be 1v1ing Hoopa, like be in against Hoopa to take the hit. That's what I'm saying. We have Fake Out, Rapid Spin, Close Combat, and Sucker Punch. I wanted as much priority as possible on this thing, without just being solo. Like I can't touch certain mons. That's why I have the Sucker Punch potentially hit the blade if it gets too rowdy. But Fake Out is just to add extra damage to the Hoopa, so that we can, you know, get a little bit extra off on it, because I think we don't get much from it. Fake Out's 13 to 16, and then Sucker Punch is 24 to 28. So it's definite damage on the Hoopa. It just depends on what kind of set he brings on it. So it's going to be a massive pain in the ass to deal with for sure. That thing's almost impossible to switch into. I'm just going to be straight up honest. We're not switching into Hoopa in this universe or the next. It's just not real. You don't switch into Hoopa. You have to recognize what's sackable and sack it, and then go into something else that might not be as sackable to kill it. That's just it. But besides that, the Intimidate really works well. I clicked the wrong thing. The Intimidate works well to mitigate threats like the Blade, Leavanny, Mudsdale, Megalop. This is a good switch into Megalop as well. Megalop doesn't do too much to this. Let's put 144, mind you, with Intimidate. Yeah, against Lop. Yeah, Lopunny has a very small, tiny chance to 2 KOS, but we can just close combat it right back and knock it out. So that's really cool. So this thing works as a switch into Lopunny, which is really nice. Keep it intimidated so we can keep bouncing around with this thing, keep some intimidates going, which is really nice. It should be a solid plan for us. Next up, we have Slamoo, the Garchomp, the Mega Garchomp. I have Garchomp in pre-Mega right now, and I'm actually going to make sure he has Rough Skin so you don't forget that. I have him in pre-Mega right now because I have an EV to outspeed a max speed Kyurem. Because if he's not Scarfed, then I would like to be able to just click Dragon Claw and knock it out. If we do find out that it is Scarfed, obviously we have other ways of handling it with things like our Gigalith later on. Migos can handle it. You know, we have a lot of mons on our team that can take out Kyurem, but we needed, just in case it's not Scarfed, then this thing can come in and just knock it out with a Dragon Claw, which would be nice. So, because we didn't need to really speed creep anything. We couldn't, with this, we speed creeped on this, so we didn't have to do any speed creeping on the Mega version, because Mega version, outspeeds everything that it needs to outspeed that would probably put speed on it. I could try to go for a speed tie with Leavanny, but that's stupid. So, the next thing that would probably run speed investment would be Hoopa, and we outspeed Hoopa with this investment on Mega Chomp anyway. So, yeah, so we have Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Poison Jab, and Stone Edge. So, Earthquake is just to nuke things. The Blade is not going to have a good time against this mon. Tentacruel, Magmortar, Jolteon, if it's not running HP Ice, which I think we can actually take one, HP Ice from it as a Mega Chomp. We get that extra Spit F boost as Mega Chomp, so we can actually take an HP Ice from Jolteon, which is nice. Yeah, just overall, this thing hits really hard. We have the Poison Jab for Aromatisse. We have the Stone Edge for Mandibuzz, and just Dragon Claw as alternative stab. So it's pretty solid mon. I like it. And now we all move on to Walsena, our Gigalith, holding the Choppleberry, Sandstream for the ability, Stealth Rock, Rock Blast, Super Power, and Earthquake. So 248 HP, 196 defense with an Impish Nature. This 196 defense with an Impish Nature prevents something. It had to do with Megalop. It had to do with Megalop. No, it prevents the 2 KO from Leavanny, which is cool. It also allows us to stay away from being KO'd by a combination of HJK through the Chopple and Leaf Blade from Leavanny. So like if we lead against Leavanny, go for the Rock Blast, it goes for Leaf Blade instead of setting up webs, and we knock it out with the Rock Blast. He goes into the Lop, and he goes for the HJK. We can smack it up with a superpower immediately afterwards and knock it out. So that would be really cool. So that's the plan there. Then we just kind of threw Earthquake on there as like a backup plan for things like Jolteon, Tentacruel, if for some reason I decide to stay in on that, Blade, stuff like that. But this thing is just really meant for bulk. Also, the 64 Spadef, while in the sand, allows us to not be too KO'd by Kyurem's Earth Power for its Scarf, which is cool. Next up, we have Jormungand, the Melodic Flame Orb, Marvel Scale ability. Chilling out here with Scald, Recover, Haze, and Toxic. This is our immediate response to SD Delayed. 248 HP and 72 in defense with the Flame Orb, Marvel Scale, and whatnot. It is not 2 KO'd by +2 Shadow Claw from Adamant the Blade. So that way we can come in on it as it goes for the SD. Haze it all. We're faster too, so we can just haze it all off and not worry about Deblade at all. We can also then alternate with hazes and scalds, potentially getting scald burns on it, which would be nice. We have recover to keep ourselves healthy, and then we have toxic more so for things like Mandibuzz and maybe Kyurem or something that might want to try to come in on this and cause us some problems. I expect Tentacruel to also be a potential switch into this, but I'm not super worried about Tentacruel because I have enough things on my team that just outright beat it. So I'm not super stressed about that. So that's our Jormungand. I literally put the rest into Spadef with a Calm Nature because I need this thing to be able to tank a special hit, potentially. This thing could take a hit from Hoopa. This thing can also take hits from Magmortar very well. Jolteon very well. Actually want to see, just out of curiosity, Magmortar. Magmortar. There you are. Just put Assault Vest, Max Special Attack, Modest versus Melodic. Blank set, 248. Was it 188? 188. Plus Calm Nature. Even if he's Electrium Z, he only does 66 to 78. Solar Beam Z does 72 to 86. So he cannot knock us out from full, which is fantastic. Okay, cool. And then the last one we have is Eneru, our Thunderous Therian. Thundy T here is mainly just here to click moves, catch things off guard, and knock them out. No setup this week. We're just running Thunderbolt, Grass Knot, HP Ground, and U-Turn. Make him hasty so that U-Turn does a little bit more damage. Probably guarantee an OHKO on Hoopa. That's literally why we have this for Hoopa. If it's like AV or something, we can U-Turn out on it and knock it out. We outspeed Kyurem again, obviously. Grass Knots for the Mudsdale potentially being a switch in, which realistically is like the only thing on his team. Like Kyurem and Mudsdale are the only things on his team that can switch into this safely. So Grass Knot for the Mudsdale, and then HP Ground for Jolteon if it wants to try to switch in as well. That's an option. So that is our team for Mack and the Carolina Persians. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments section below. It's going to be a very, very tough matchup, I'm sure. He's a fantastic battler, so I'm sure he's going to come up with some really whacked out, crazy sets. But I have some faith that we are going to be able to pull out a W in this one. So until next time, though, guys, I'm PokePrimer, and I'm signing off. Peace!